Something is brewing, and it's bigger than anyone expected. Chelsea are cycling for Garnacho again, despite the noise. Nkunku and Jackson both could be on their way out. Sanchez trusted again after one heroic night. Deals are forming, rebuild are accelerating, but not everyone will survive what comes next. Smash the like, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 3K. Let's get into it all. Chelsea have held fresh talk with Ajax defender Jorrel Hato as they explore defensive reinforcements. A transfer expected to cost around £40 million, even though Ajax are quoting clubs an inflated price of £60 million via Ben Jacobs. Now listen, this one is personal. Jorrel Hato is a player I admire deeply, and if you have been watching this channel long enough, you know this is not the first time I'm talking about him. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is a rare profile, one of the best young defenders in Europe, and just scream Chelsea. Let's talk about Jorrel Hato. 19 years old, left-footed, captain of Ajax, Netherlands international, can play as a centre-back and a left-back with equal comfort. This is not some raw prospect. Hato plays with calmness 10 years above his age. He already won the armband at Ajax. Think about that. One of the biggest clubs in Europe, captained by a teenager. That says it all. And now let's talk about number. 44 appearances, 3,657 minutes, 90% pass accuracy, 2.1 tackle per 90, 1.7 interception per 90. This is not just decent, that's elite. That's Maresca DNA. We are talking about someone who can build from the back, step into the midfield, and barely get beats in 1v1. And now here is why Chelsea want him. Number one, ball playing composure. Calm under pressure, breaks the press, surgical passing from the deep. Secondly, tactical versatility, can rotate with Cucurella at the left back and can slot into a back three. Number 3, age and leadership. Only 19 years old, but already a leader. Chelsea are building a young but fearless team. And last but not the least, fit for Maresca, progressive, smart, discipline, and everything our manager demands. And with Chelsea likely to sell Renato Vieira, there is a clear opening for a left-footed defender. Let me be crystal clear. If Chelsea pulls this off, it's a masterstroke. It's not just a Cucurella backup, it's the next gem in this rebuild. The fact that we are even in talks again tells you the club is serious about long-term quality. It's not about signing name, it's about signing profile. It's about identity. And Jorrel Hato, he's got the badge written all over him. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea want to keep going on in the market. So the idea is to add more players to the squad. I won't be surprised if Chelsea add one more offensive player to their squad. And equally added, Nkunku could be leaving the club in this summer transfer window, and keep an eye on Nicolas Jackson. The concrete possibility to see both of them leaving Chelsea this summer. And this is why they are considering one more offensive addition. And there it is. Nkunku exit, we started around January, and now it's gaining serious momentum. Injuries, system fit, lack of rhythm. It's just been a messy Chelsea chapter for a player who came in with elite level promises. And then Nicolas Jackson. This one hits different. Despite his inconsistency, Nicolas Jackson is a player I want to keep. Gives us something most attackers in this age bracket don't. Vertical aggression, self-belief, and movement of the ball. Elite pressing numbers and room to grow. But I get it. Chelsea want to level up. And if they want to replace Jackson with a killer in front of goal, I'm all for it. Because as much as I love Jackson chaos, sometimes chaos doesn't win title. And guess who is cycling? Manchester United are considering a move for Nicolas Jackson to help solve their scoring problem via time spots. Let that sink in. They are in for Jackson, and Chelsea are quietly listening. Let's not forget Joao Pedro is already in. Liam Delap also joined too. These are two central profiles already in the mix. So if Chelsea are looking to add another attacker, it probably won't be a traditional striker. Which leads us to a £1 billion question. Could the offensive player be Rodrigo? We have heard the noise, we have seen the links. Rodrigo has been frustrated at Madrid. Just 88 minutes in the whole Club World Cup campaign, and Madrid are open to selling. Rodrigo at Chelsea makes too much sense. Can play across the front line, works hard off the ball, comfortable in wide and central areas. Brazilian pipeline plus long-term superstar potential. Or is he Garnacho? Chelsea admiration is no secret. United know it, and the fans know it. And if Jackson goes the other way, don't rule out a massive player swap deal. Garnacho fits the youth profile, bring directness, and has the big game energy. Nkunku likely gone. Jackson could leave. Chelsea not done. Expect one more offensive signing coming in. But who? Is it Rodrigo? The front line reaches world-class ceiling. Is it Garnacho? Chelsea land one of the most exciting under 20 in Europe. Or do they pull a wild card someone like Malik Fofana. But one thing is clear, Chelsea will bring in an attacker. But what happens with Nkunku and Jackson? They are part of the bigger vision. Because world champions don't stand still, they reload. But speaking of the devil, here is the latest on Garnacho. According to Graham Bailey, Chelsea retained an active interest in Garnacho and has held recent contact with his people who are keeping the club informed. You see that line there? Don't ignore it. This isn't speculation anymore. This is real. Chelsea are monitoring Alejandro Garnacho and they are in direct contact with his camp. But the fan base splits because while the club sees a possible opportunity, Chelsea fans are not sold. Let's talk why the Garnacho links aren't sitting well with the fans. Look, Garnacho is undoubtedly talented, and at just 21 years old, he has been a regular at Manchester United, played in big games and even scored in an FA Cup final. But here is the issue. He's not seen as an upgrade. Chelsea fans look at our current attacking option and many just don't feel Garnacho moves the needle. And secondly, inconsistent end product. Yes, he had 6 goals and 6 assists in the 2024-2025 Premier League, but his decision making still frustrates. He's raw, he's explosive, but unreliable in tight games, something Chelsea have grown tired of. Now, off the pitch noise. Let's be honest, Garnacho brings unnecessary distraction, from his on and off the pitch antics to his brother going wild on Twitter. It's not the kind of professionalism that Enzo Maresca is looking to build into this project. And the last thing Chelsea needs is another social media drama. But let's not act like Garnacho is some average player. He's got traits you can't teach: elite pace, fearless 1v1 ability, big game mentality, high ceiling, under structure. We have seen young talent flourish in this Chelsea rebuild. Garnacho isn't coming in to be the main man. He'll be the part of a dynamic, high ceiling frontline. Think Palmer, Garnacho, Extova, maybe a Rodrigo. That's frightening if coached properly. And let's not forget, Chelsea are open to letting Nicolas Jackson go, and United needs a striker, and Garnacho is a winger they may sacrifice to get what they need up front. Could this be a swap in the making? Garnacho to Chelsea, Jackson to Man U, both clubs solving different issues in one deal. Chelsea are interested, Garnacho's camp are talking, but the fan base is cautious, and rightly so. And if this move happens, it's going to be one of the most controversial transfer of the window. But is that what Chelsea need right now? Do we risk the dressing room balance for a player who can be electric but unpredictable? Would you take Garnacho at Chelsea if you met Jackson leaving? Or is it a hard no for you? Now, if I saw this quote last week, I would have been losing my head. Chelsea will continue to work with Sanchez, who is statistically exceptional in all areas except one: mistake leading to goals. Cut some of those out, and the club believe they already have a top goalkeeper. Because for the longest time, Robert Sánchez has been a working hard attack between the sticks. Statistically, yeah, he ticked boxes, but the eye test, that's where he has always fallen short. But then came the Club World Cup, and that changed things. Let's give credit to where it's due. Sanchez turned up when it mattered, composed, confident and clutch. Distribution was on point, especially in tight moments. That point blank save in the second half, pure reflex. Didn't try to play the Superman, just stick to the bases, and that's all we ever asked. This version of Sanchez ever showed up every week. This wouldn't be a debate, and Nezal Cancela reports make sense when you break it down. Exceptional reflex save, good shot stopping numbers, tall, physical, vocal presence, distribution fits Maresca system. And then the red flag, mistake leading to goals. That has been his Achilles heel, and it's not just about stats, it's about timing. His error usually comes in the most crucial moments. This is where one relapse kills the momentum. But if the club believes that can be coached out of him, then we may already have a goalkeeper capable of being a top 4 level starter. And now the question is, do Chelsea need an upgrade? And now here is where I stand. Yes, despite his final performance, I still think Chelsea need a serious competition in goal, not just a backup, but someone who can genuinely challenge and push Sanchez every week. Because trust without pressure bleeds complacency. And Sanchez, as we have seen, isn't flawless. Look, I've been critical of Sanchez all season, and I still don't fully trust him over 38 games. But after seeing his Club World Cup final display, I'm willing to pause, reassess and trust the process for now. Because if this is the version of Sanchez we are going to be getting going forward, then maybe, just maybe, Chelsea already have their number one. But the key, consistency. No more one good game, one brain fart cycle. Just clean sheet, composure and command. According to Matlaw, Chelsea victory over Paris Saint-Germain in the final is expected to help the club secure a new front of shirt sponsor that could be worth 100 million more than the offers they resisted last year. The entire football added, Chelsea were in talks with 2 companies last year over front of shirt sponsor, but the long-term deal on the table is worth about £40 million per year. Chelsea decided to hold off, and that figure has rocketed to £60 million per year. Let's talk about this one, because this is more than just a logo on the shirt. This is about vision, leverage, and why Chelsea bounced back on and off the pitch is no accident. Let's go back to last summer. Chelsea were in advanced talk with two major companies over front of shirt sponsor. They offer £40 million a year. Solid, but nowhere near the level of a club trying to operate like a global powerhouse. But then the board made a bold call. They said, let's wait. And now, after slaughtering PSG 3-0 in the Club World Cup final, Chelsea aren't just champion, they are hot property again. That £40 million valuation now it's worth £60 million a year, with the total deal projected to be £100 million more than what was on the table last season. That's elite business strategy. This isn't just money move, this is statement. Chelsea are back on the global stage. They have got the youngest squad in Europe top 5 league, a brand new manager with clear identity, and now a marketing boost to match the on the pitch success. Let me say this clearly, winning trophies bring value. Sponsors don't just look at Instagram numbers, they look at silverware, visibility, Champions League night, and global fan engagement. And that 3-0 demolition of PSG wasn't just a sporting win, it's a financial reset. With FFP and the Premier League new profitability and sustainability rule, every stream of income matters. £60 million a year is top 5 money for shirt deal in the world. That cash gets invested into the squad. Think Rodrigo, Garnacho for a world-class number 1. More brand exposure means more eyes on Koba, the academy, and our commercial reach worldwide. When Chelsea pulls in this kind of sponsorship money, it doesn't just fuel the transfer, it validates the entire project. Chelsea waited where most clubs would have cashed in, and now they are reaping their reward. The message from the board is clear. We are not just building a team, we are building a global football empire. And the new front of shirt deal will be a cherry on the top. World champions on the pitch, commercial giants off it. That's the level, that's Chelsea. So right there is the video. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Igobi.